Do you know that feeling when you've started learning about something and suddenly realize that it's basically a whole world you didn't know existed? No, just me. When I began studying for the seniors real estate specialist designation, I expected to learn new ways to be patient and respectful, how to navigate conversations with the whole family, and what probate was. Before real estate, I was a caregiver for adults in the Concord area who were aging in place, so I didn't really think there would be that much that I didn't already know about. I was wrong. I was surprised by how complex later life housing transitions actually are, and how many people, decisions, and moving pieces are involved in doing a good job. So in this video, I want to share a few things that genuinely surprised me while studying for the SRES designation, and then I want to take you on a hypothetical journey with me. Oh, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. I'm Hannah. I'm a New Hampshire realtor specializing in slower, easier, more peaceful moves for older adults and the families who love them. I know how complicated these decisions can be. You're balancing safety, independence, finances, family dynamics, and overall well-being. Moving slower in New Hampshire is meant to be a trusted resource for anyone growing older in New Hampshire. I cover homes, communities, businesses, and practical strategies to help you live safely and independently. Let's get into today's topic. The first thing that surprised me while studying for the SRES designation was just how many housing options exist for older adults. Most people think the options are very simple. Stay in your house or move to a nursing home. But the reality is that there are many possibilities in between. For example, some people choose to age in place, staying in their home and making modifications to improve safety and accessibility. Others decide to downsize to a smaller home or condo that requires less maintenance. Some people move into 55 plus or active adult communities where neighbors are in a similar stage of life. There are also independent living communities which often offer social activities and fewer responsibilities for home maintenance. For people who need more support, there are assisted living communities where daily help is available. Some people consider multigenerational housing, where parents move into a home with their adult children. Others explore continuing care retirement communities, where different levels of care are available on one property. And for people with significant medical needs, there are skilled nursing or long-term care facilities. When I saw that full range of options, it really surprised me because it means that the decision isn't just about selling a house. It's about choosing the kind of life you want next. The second thing that surprised me was how many different professionals might be involved in a later life housing transition. It's rarely just a homeowner and a real estate agent. Often there are financial planners who help you understand how housing decisions affect your retirement income. There may be elder law attorneys who help you with estate planning or long-term care decisions. Sometimes families work with senior move managers who specialize in organizing and coordinating the whole move. There might be estate sale companies helping sort and sell your belongings. There could be contractors or accessibility specialists if you want to modify your home in order to age in place. And there are often caregivers, healthcare providers, and sometimes your own family members who help coordinate decisions. It becomes a huge team effort. Third thing that surprised me was just how much planning can improve the process. Many people only start thinking about these decisions during a crisis. But when planning happens earlier, while someone is still strong, independent, and able to explore options calmly, the choices are much clearer. So let's imagine what this process might look like. Imagine you've decided that your big house is no longer working for you. Maybe you've lived there for 30 or 40 years. Maybe you raised your kids there. Maybe it sits up a long driveway in a small New Hampshire town. But now winter feels harder than it used to. The driveway feels longer and steeper, and the house just feels too big. So you start thinking, maybe it's time for something different. Maybe you'd rather live in a bigger town where there are doctors nearby, grocery stores close by, and your grandkids are only a few minutes away. It sounds simple. Sell the house, buy a condo, be closer to family. But once you start exploring the possibilities, you realize that you have way more questions than you expected. Do you want a condo with an elevator? Would a 55 plus community feel like a good fit socially? Would you prefer a smaller single level home instead? Would independent living provide more convenience? What if your health needs change later, and would a continuing care retirement community offer more flexibility? Could aging in place still be possible if your current home were modified? And suddenly, what seemed like a simple decision becomes a much bigger conversation. This is where working with someone trained as a seniors real estate specialist can help. Instead of jumping straight into listing a house or showing properties, the first step is often to discuss the bigger picture. What kind of lifestyle do you want? What matters most to you? Proximity to family, walkability, social opportunities, accessibility, financial flexibility? From there, the conversation might expand. You might talk with a financial planner about how housing costs affect your retirement plan. You might meet with an elder law attorney to discuss estate considerations. And if aging in place is still a possibility, you might talk with contractors or accessibility specialists about home modifications. In other words, the decision becomes less about rushing into a move and more about designing the next stage of life intentionally. And something I learned through the training is that when people take the time to explore their options calmly and thoughtfully, the process tends to feel much less overwhelming. Because instead of reacting to unexpected circumstances, you're making choices. Do you agree? Tell me what you think in the comments. Have you or someone in your family gone through this kind of decision? If you ever want to talk about these kinds of housing transitions in New Hampshire, you can always reach me at 603-573-6969. In the next video, we're going to talk about something that many people don't realize until they're already in the middle of a move. And that is what questions seniors and their loved ones should ask their real estate agent before moving. The right questions can drastically affect how smoothly the process goes. I'll see you in that video. I didn't really think studying for the real specialist designation. Why does that say that? Well, how to talk and like what probate was.